with the first one. We have Magomed Ankalaev and Anthony Smith. Who do you got here?
I know you're high on Ankalaev. I think he's great too. Probably gonna fight for a title, but we're talking about Anthony Smith, right? He's a veteran, and unlike some of the other veterans that are sticking around a little too long, like Anthony Smith, he's still winning fights and he's finishing them. And if you look at his experience, like how many 5 round title fights, main events has he had? Like more often than not lately, he's fighting in the main event. So I think this 3 round fight's going to be great for him. You might call him a gatekeeper, so to speak, but like this fight, this is one gate he's going to keep closed, in my opinion. I think Magomed's a good striker, doesn't grapple too much. And speaking of Paul Craig, that's his one loss. Is
Yeah, but like,
loss to Paul Craig. And I think someone like Anthony Smith, he's gonna see that as a weakness. Anthony Smith, he's got some good grappling too. So I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony beats him up on the feet, takes him down, and works his grappling for a decision victory.
yeah, and he's coming from like 3 win streaks.
Yep.
Magomed 8. The first one, let's say that one, he was winning even that fight against Paul Craig. Like
Right.
he lost in the last seconds. Like like if you watch the fight and you know the outcome, you even ask yourself how that happened, how that happened. I think it was the last seconds of the fight.
Mhm.
So it's pretty crazy that he didn't endure that and like even try to go to sleep. That that was really surprising. Like I think that he didn't tap that he would like survive that attack and win even that fight. I mean, all props to Paul Craig, but like
I know you're mad at him right now, but yeah.
very mad, very mad. Yeah, but like talking about this fight, like I was pretty big on Magomed Ankalaev, like but like I was now rewatching everything, thinking about it. Like, I mean, how you can say anything bad about the guy who have 8 fight win streak? Like
That's true. Yeah.
since he came to UFC, expect that only one that freak accident or coincidence, call it however you want. Like he beat everyone. But honestly, like now thinking again, like he doesn't have that X factor.
Mhm.
He's pretty how to say calm. He picked his shot. He's technically really sound. Like nothing is
Mhm.
out of the box. But like he doesn't go for the kill. Like
That-
if you look his fights, I mean, not that he didn't finish anyone, but like only the guys who go crazy and core not that technically sound, he's gonna get finished. Going back to Ion Kutelaba, who was like pushing the pace, and after that first, what was that? Some freak accident, I cannot remember now. On the first fight, they rerun it.
Ah, I forget what something weird happened to where they ran it back. They had an instant rematch, didn't they?
Yeah, and he even finished it, I think, second time, even no, it was at the beginning. I think referee jump in. Like I cannot allow
Oh, it was just a bad stoppage, I think.
something like that. It was like after less than a minute. So that type of the fighters. But Anthony Smith will bring that, but like much more technical, much more smarter. Like if you look more or less, most of that, like everything in UFC was like he had 4 decisions and how many? Like 3 or 4 finishes.
Mhm.
So my opinion is now, especially like if you look like he's the biggest favorite. I forgot to tell that. He's minus 490. That's crazy.
You're talking about
Against
Ankalaev?
Ankalaev. He
And
mean minus 490, bro.
I mean, he's got a crazy streak, but I think Anthony Smith, he's seen that stuff. And like if you look at Anthony Smith, his resume, as far as like after his resurgence, like right, he's only lost to like champions or guys that are like championship caliber, right? guy that he's lost to that wasn't a champion like as of late was Alexander Rakic, and I think that guy's gonna find his way back into a title shot sooner or later. So it would be a big statement if Magomed beats Anthony Smith because that's gonna let you know like this guy's arrived.
Yeah, I agree with you, but like also few things we need to put in perspective now. Like Anthony Smith is also working like a commentary at UFC.
Yep.
I think like that. I was listening him a little bit in some interview. He wanted to fight beginning of the summer. You know, they couldn't book the fight because of the Ramadan,
Mhm.
so the fight came much later, I think, and he had like booked some. So he trained most of the on the road. I think that's how I understood. You know, also in May his mother passed and he was like raised by her and grandfather, you know, so I think so he was really connected with his mother, you know, like how is that gonna influence him, you know,
Mhm.
it's gonna give him an additional fire or it was like too much for him to handle, you know.
Right.
So, but like
No, yeah, no doubt that'll affect him, but like you said, will it boost him or take away from him?
yeah, but like honestly I have to go against my guy who was putting pretty big, you know, especially like when you look like that Anthony Smith is plus 380.
Mhm.
I will go with him. I'm gonna look positively on this and
You're seeing dollar signs, is what you're saying.
yeah, yeah, it's just like on minus 490. I mean,
We're
I'm
talking
gonna
about
go with
Anthony Smith here, man. He's a vet. And I actually think like, okay, maybe the analysis job could take away a little bit from his training, like you said. But generally, if you look at like the guys in the analysis booth, they usually do pretty well after getting those gigs, right? They
yeah.
like Michael Bisping won a title after it, DC, Cruz, he's still sticking around, he's winning fights.
No, I think like what really happens, like they start thinking not as a fighter only, they start looking other fighters, preparing for the job. Same thing what we do now. It give you another perspective, you know.
Mhm.
And that I think like influence something like then maybe like on the training, like they're trying some things that they would maybe not if they're only fighters, you know. So I
Yeah.
think it for sure influence positively. But again, I'm saying like too much thing happened with him also. Like I think usually they take time off to prepare for the fight. I
Mhm.
think he had some schedule problems, so how I understood he was training on the road, you know, like and so I think that can be a factor, but also like I'm gonna go with him for this one. I think
I'm going Lionheart.
yeah, me too. Let's go